Did you know that nearly 1 in 5 businesses in Canada are led by women, yet the majority of female entrepreneurs say scaling that business can be a real challenge? Well, a new TD survey is helping to shed some light on the barriers that women are facing. Julie Dimitri, National Manager, Women in Enterprise at TD Business Banking, commissioned the survey. She's here to talk about the findings and how these entrepreneurs can be better supported. Great to have you with us, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Fascinating survey. I want to jump in. Some surprising results there about scaling business and securing financing. Tell us all about that.
Absolutely. So many research out there was always saying women's number one challenge was funding their businesses. And from our recent survey, we were actually surprised to see that it just dipped in second place. In first place, it ended up being scaling their business. And we find this not just interesting, but really encouraging, because if women are identifying that they actually want to scale and grow their business, we really feel like there's a special momentum. Something's happening out there in Canada, and it's exciting.
That's great. So things are starting to go right, and then you're ready to take that to the next level. You also have a story about how a business owner faced these issues and how she found some options.
Yes, and we interact with a lot of women, and I can even shed light on my own personal experience. But this particular woman, she shared with us a really interesting experience that she had. So there's a lot of sole entrepreneurs out there. 80% of them actually are sole entrepreneurs, and so she, had many years of experience in the corporate world, has her MBA, but she started her business as a sole proprietor, sole entrepreneur, and she was really creating her own assumptions of why she was not necessarily going to get financing. She thought she needed about 5-10 employees. She thought she needed a lot more money in her banking account. And it's after seeing us and my team at 3 different events, 3 different occasions where we're sharing recommendation and providing advice, that she felt comfortable, speaking with one of our bankers. And then finally, she actually has now a rolling line of credit, and it provides her that cushion for cash flow management.
All right, so a nice success story there as well. At the same time, though, for roughly a third of the women in the survey, they say there's a lack of confidence when it comes to financial concepts.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of that word, lack of confidence. It's kind of misleading because, women, and again, I take this very personally, we feel like we need to know everything before we go and ask a question. We don't want to ask a stupid question. And we actually see this in the corporate world as well. We always hear this story where women will not apply for a role unless they have, 9 out of the 10 requirements, but a man will apply maybe if he has only 3. So this lack of confidence is really misleading. It's more like, they know a lot, but they feel like they might not know enough. Right? So we really focus on making sure they're comfortable, seeking that advice, asking these questions. And that's why part of our strategy, the We Banker strategy, so this is really bankers who are in the field, experienced men and women. They raise their hands to go and get additional training and got accredited to work with women without biases. So we want to make sure, we treat them the right way and we communicate the way women want to be communicated too. And so one thing is sometimes nudging them, that can actually be a positive, right? There's another study that says women on average make $50,000 less than men for similar businesses. And so we want to help them see that they could maybe look at debt as a positive and get comfortable.
Bridge that gap.
Yes.
You mentioned the sole entrepreneur earlier. 80% of women-led businesses owned and run by that one individual. What support can they get? If you're going it alone, you're really smart, really talented, really driven, but you're on your own.
I know. There's a lot. 80% is a big number. Actually, when I started my business, I found I started it based on passion. And a lot of women will start a business as a side hustle. They do it for passion. They do it because, they want flexibility. They don't necessarily do it for the same goals of profit right away, right? And so, again, it's really finding ways to help them bridge that gap. And we know they're looking for these non-financial products. So what do we mean by non-financial products? It's coaching, it's networking, abilities to grow their network, it's mentorship, it's visibility of their business, it's learning about other women and their successes and their failures so that they can fix that problem or bridge that gap, as you said, so they don't do it again in their own personal journeys.
I understand when it comes to that networking, those opportunities to learn, your team actually supports that. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so what we tend to do, and the team and I, is to be very deliberate, to support women in a way that they want to be supported. And so again, those non-financial products, we know growing a network is very important for women. But women are busy, right? Well, I mean, men are busy too. But women, we have like responsibility. We're mothers. We're often the cooks in the house. And now we're talking about entrepreneurs. And so everything needs to be very deliberate. So recently what we did, we actually collaborated with an organization called Be Uninterrupted, a woman-owned business, of course. And we created a masterclass on entrepreneurship. We had 125 women come together. It was on June 13 in our TD offices. And the feedback was amazing because we were very deliberate in our action. And the value they got out of that day was very high. And they kept on sharing, like, it was very tactful advice. If they're going to spend 1, 2, maybe 4 hours with us, it needs to be high value and deliberate.
Julie, fascinating stuff and very inspirational stuff. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much.